Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's video, day 10 will take us to around the 25th of October, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extended GFS and ECM ensembles later to around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS-B2 at the end of video for the next 4 weeks. That'll take us into the first half of November, of course. I'm running very late today. Western power distribution have been cutting trees in the area, so we have the power off all day. We came up just before 4, came back up just before 4 o'clock, so that's why I've been off the scene today, which means no European Outlook this week. I haven't got time to do that today, and tomorrow I'll be busy with all of the Friday videos, so the European Outlook will return next Thursday. You know, power and internet connection permitting. But I am going to bring you a 10 to 14 day video update, and given how late I am running, I think we better crack on with this right now. So let's get on with it. I'm going to start off with Central England temperature. So CET is currently standing at 10.9. Let's do this then, 10.9. That's provisional to yesterday, 14th of October. That's around half a degree below average for this point in October. So yeah, we're still running cooler than average. This is probably going to tick down a little bit more over the next 2 or 3 days. We are going to have some quite cold nights coming up. So the first half of October, we will be able to say, has been cooler than average, most definitely. Changes next week, though, into much more unsettled weather. So these are the 500 millibar height normally flow charts for Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, with the ECMWF on the top and the GFS, which we will have a look in a moment, on the bottom. So blue is extrapolated to below average height, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red extrapolate to above average height, which is high pressure. Look at the GFS in the 7 to 10 day time frame, with deep low pressure in from the Atlantic into the UK and West Europe as well. Strong westerly jet stream too. So yeah, Atlantic unleashed as we go into the end of the 3rd week and the start of the 4th week of October. GFS is very similar as well, but also having below average heights over to North Country. Strong westerly flow coming in from off the Atlantic. Although this is Atlantic driven, it's not overly mild either, because actually the jet stream is a little bit south of the UK, so we are still more or less on the cool side of the jet stream and pushing quite cool air into these areas of low pressure. So despite the fact that it's very unsettled, it is also relatively cool as well. Certainly not particularly mild. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at London today. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. Going to be cooler than average through the rest of the week inside of next week. Then the temperature ticks up for a couple of days early next week, but only briefly, and then falls back again. Overall, it looks like the temperature, upper air temperatures are coming out cooler than average, really. There are some warmer outlier members up here, but the majority, I think, are under the 30-year upper air temperature average, and obviously becoming more unsettled too. So the next few days, like through the rest of this week into the weekend, and just the beginning of next week for London, mainly dry, but through next week and on into last week of October, increasingly unsettled weather with plenty of precipitation spikes there. Temperature anomalies on the 15th to 23rd of October are going to be a little bit cooler than average. Precipitation anomalies on the 15th to 23rd of October are going to be wetter than average for more northern western parts of the country, but a little bit drier than average down in the south and southeast. I would expect these charts to trend wetter, though, in the coming days, and this above average rainfall for the north and west is giving a clue as to where these are going to trend in the next few days. This is how the UK Met is looking for Sunday. So high pressure will be away to our northwest. We'll be pulling in winds from the north to northeasterly direction. So it's going to be mainly dry and quite chilly on Sunday. Into the early part of next week, probably still just about hanging on to dry weather in the south on Monday, but turning more unsettled in the north. And by Tuesday, all areas will be seeing rain, with this area of low pressure spreading in from off the Atlantic, turning wet and windy and quite cool too by the time we get through to Wednesday next week, Wednesday 21st of October, which is 144 hours, is as far as we we can go with the UK Met turning wet and windy there. Miss Alba GFS 6 there is looking, as I'm speaking, the midday run is just updating, but I wanted to get this video done, so this is the 6 then, GFS, where on Sunday again we're in a ridge of high pressure, bringing quite a lot of dry and fine weather. Monday, still mainly dry down in the south-southeast, but turning wetter in the northwest, all areas becoming wet and windy through the early part of next week. We do pull up some southerly southwesterly winds through the early part of next week, so it will turn milder, but will also, of course, be outbreaks of rain. As we go through into the second half of next week, low pressure really coming in off the Atlantic, looking very unsettled here, with bouts of rain coming through, and not overly warm, I would say not overly mild, a little bit on the cool side. We finish up looking like that, which is for Saturday the 31st of October. That's Halloween, of course, and it looks like we're beginning to get the polar vortex going there. The purple colours are beginning to appear around Greenland and to the north of Iceland, powering up the zonal flow, perhaps, as we go through to Saturday the 31st of October. Of course, that's a very long way out, 384 hours away, but it does seem to go a little bit stormier, perhaps, by the end of October. The GM is looking like this. So again, lots and lots of dry weather on Sunday. As we go through to the early part of next week, it turns increasingly unsettled, deep low pressure in off the Atlantic, bringing bouts of rain and quite cool temperatures as well. That low pressure clears away to the east by Thursday, with turning wind into the north to northwest, so becoming cooler and very unsettled still, with showers and spells of rain. Stays very unsettled as we move up to day 10. Yeah, here we go. This is day 10 with the GM. Sunday, 25th of October. More low pressure pushing in from the Atlantic, and still quite cool as well. We remain on the cool side of jet stream, and just looking very, very unsettled. And then the ECM looks like that again. High pressures away to our north and west on Sunday, keeping us mainly dry for one more day on Sunday. But through the early part of next week, yes, in comes the low pressure off the Atlantic. Plenty of rain coming in with that, and quite cool temperatures as well. And then the ECM keeps unsettled right way up to day 10. Though a bout of wet and windy weather sweeping in there at day 10 on Sunday, 25th of October. This is a rainfall forecast based on the ECM run from Tameteo.com. So, yes, plenty of dry weather, a few showers coming and going, but plenty of dry weather through tomorrow and into weekend as well. But early next week, turning more unsettled, rain initially in the northwest, and rain sweeping across the country, as we go through the early part of next week, all places turning wet and windy. Middle of next week is showering, and then we're back to very wet conditions again through to the second half of next week. Moving up towards day 10, that's how we look again, rain to our northwest, but drier over to the east of the country. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 25th of October via the Icelandic Met Office. 13 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure just to our west, and in come those westerly winds, so obviously going to be very unsettled. 12, again, deep low pressure over to west of the country, in come westerlies, going to be very unsettled too. Atlantic unleashed, another 12 just here with low pressure out to our west, again, very unsettled with those west to southwesterly winds. 12, low pressure over and to the east country. We're on the cool side of the jet stream as well with that one. And then just two have us under high pressure, and the high pressure is centred to our north-northeast. So obviously that can be quite cold. That will bring winds in from an easterly direction. It's a minority option. There's only two doing that. Most members of the ECM ensembles are looking very, very unsettled in 10 days' time. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It gets us more or less to the end of October, 30th of the month. So we have 11 members of the ECM ensembles, again, with low pressure right over top of the country. 10 with low pressure just to our south-southwest. Again, they're going to be very unsettled. Another 10, low pressure over the country and slightly to the east. 8 with low pressure just to the east. A ridge is out in the Atlantic, so they're going to be cool, and they're going to be unsettled and very cool with winds coming in from a northwesterly direction. 6 with a Scandinavian high and bringing in like an easterly wind, and then another 6 with high pressure right over the top of the country. So we've got 12 basically, but are drier and colder for the end of October, the 6th there and the 6th there. And then the rest of them, though, are looking very unsettled again. So the majority option is unsettled at both days 10 and days 14 within the ECM ensembles. Finally, GWV2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 15th to the 21st of October. The coming week has above average heights away to our northwest, below average heights starting to move in from off the Atlantic, beginning to turn more unsettled as we get from the 15th to the 21st of October. However, never really going unsettled with the GWV2. This is week 2, which is the 22nd, 28th of October. It looks very, very different to all of the model output that we've just been seeing. It has like a wall of high pressure across Western Europe and extending back into the Arctic with low pressure out here. So it's mainly driver and anticyclonic and probably bringing in like a southerly to southeasterly wind. Now, if the wind is south, of course, if the wind is south and east, then that's going to be quite mild. But if the wind is like east of south, so it's more off the continent, then that can actually be quite chilly. Anyway, it's very, very different to what all of the model output we've just been talking about is showing. So I'm not sure what the CFS is doing today. Possibly it's just thrown one out there that's gone out off on a bit of a tangent. Week 3 also looks very anticyclonic. It's the 29th of October to 4th of November with high pressure right over top of the country and extending out into the Atlantic as well. It's obviously mainly dry, fine, and could be quite cold in that area of high pressure. Any southerly wind has been well and truly cut off, and so that could be sort of cold, frosty type conditions as we move into start of November. Again, very, very different to the low pressure dominated output that we have just been discussing. And then week 4 looks like that. It's the 5th to the 11th of November. Low pressure around Iceland and Greenland, and perhaps trying to turn milder, perhaps trying to bring up like a west-southwesterly wind. It's a very strange CFS run today, and I think really we should probably stick with a shorter range model output, you know, as that appears to be, there appears to be very good agreement within the short range model output for like next week to be very unsettled, and the CFS doesn't really show that. So I think the CFS has probably gone off on a tangent. We'll find out more tomorrow when we do GMA Friday, but I think the CFS is probably just thrown one out there that's a little bit different, and it'll be back to like unsettled weather for next week tomorrow. Right, that's it then. Very quick update today. So I'm so sorry for running late, but these things happen. Trees have to be, you know, pruned and kept away from the power lines, don't they, to keep everybody's power going. So it's just one of those things, and so it can't be helped. So there we go then. Tomorrow we're gonna have GMA Friday. We can have a 10 to 14 day video update as well tomorrow, and of course we'll have a 6-week update with the ECMWF, and we'll look at mean sea level pressure and also temperature and rainfall anomalies for the next 6 weeks, taking us more or less to the end of November with that. I think that will be sort of late tomorrow afternoon, early evening tomorrow. Before then, it'll be GMA Friday and a 10 to 14 day video update as well. So it's going to be a very, very interesting day at GavsWeatherVids tomorrow. This video for today's videos, only one of them. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.